welcome to the Total Country Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of the Total Country Podcast. My name's Kevin Angel, and on this week's episode, I've got Aileen Mythen from Irish Country Americana duo, The Remedy Club. The Remedy Club are a duo comprised of partners KJ McAvoy and Aileen Mythen. They released their debut album, Lovers, Legends and Lost Causes, in October 2017 to critical acclaim, an album that Maverick magazine described as a rather special offering and saying that the couple's chemistry shines through the album. The pair are known for their tight vocal harmonies and clever songwriting, and this March, building on the success of their first album, they released the simply brilliant True Hand, True Heart, this time recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, with the brilliant producer Ray Kennedy, who has recorded records with the likes of Emmylou Harris and Willie Nelson. Anyway, Aileen explains it all really well, so I think that's all you need to know for now. Here we go, my interview with Aileen Mythen, one half of the Remedy Club. So I have Aileen on the line from the Remedy Club. Aileen, how are you? Okay?
I'm good, yeah. Hey, Kevin, good to talk to you.
Good. Yeah, we were just talking prior to the recording about how strange it is at the moment. But we're both lucky that we live in nice places, so we've keeping ourselves busy with that.
Yeah, it certainly is strange. Yeah, I mean, my goodness, everybody's feeling it, and I think every day is different. I mean, I think actually at this point every hour is different, different emotions, and but at the same time, like we've talked about, I feel extremely grateful to have a roof over my head, to be honest, and enough money to afford groceries, and just I'm heartbroken for so many different people who are really suffering a lot more than we are at the moment, you know.
Yeah, puts it all in perspective, doesn't it?
Sure does. Yeah. We've so much to be grateful for, really. I mean, at first, that initial time when we found out that everything was being cancelled and festivals and tours and all of that, of course, initially you have that, the disappointment and the shock and all of that. But I think at the moment we're just really grateful, that we're safe and thankfully healthy and just trying to get on with it.
Absolutely. So let's talk about music. So for people that haven't heard of yourselves before, so tell us a bit about your sound and what kind of music you play. Just give us a general picture on the band.
The Remedy Club, I guess Americana is a great way of describing the music because it's a large umbrella. There's a lot of different genres in there, so we can sneak quite a lot under that umbrella of the title Americana. But ultimately, I suppose it's alternative country roots music. There's elements of quite a few different genres, I think, in there. But ultimately, that's the kind of sound. This new album is rootsy rock, more so than the first album.
Perfect. How did the duo come together? Because give me a bit of history, you two, because you've recorded under another name previously, haven't you? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We used to be called Bee and the Honey Boy. Well, we actually originally were called Bee and the Honey Boys, and then we lost an S and we lost a few band members. They're still alive, in case anyone's worried. We didn't kill them. No, we just the genre, the kind of songwriting style changed a lot over the years. Really, more than anything, we started off as a blues band, and the more we were writing our own original material, the more the style of the songs changed, and it was becoming a lot more rootsy, a lot more Americana and country. A lot of kind of things personally, I suppose, were going on. A lot of change was happening in our lives at that time as well, and we just kind of felt like we needed a change in the name, just complete change in the style of music. And that's when we had the Remedy Club.
So did you change the Remedy Club when it became a duo?
No, we changed. It was still Bee and the Honey Boy when we were a duo, but it was very much, the songs were still much more blues influenced, I would say. So it was really just a change in, as I say, in our personal lives, but also in the music. I think the Remedy Club just, I don't know, it just kind of fit the music a bit better, and it was kind of a bit of a nod, I suppose, to it's still like a source of, I guess personally, as I say, there was a lot of change happening. Yeah. So it was kind of like the word remedy, maybe subconsciously, it was like a source of remedy happening in our lives as well. And music has always been that for us.
Yeah.
So it had probably a bit of that going on as well.
Was that a conscious change in the direction of your music then?
No, it was very much a natural thing that was happening. We've always listened to roots Americana music. You know, I grew up, my parents were in a band and they played country music, and KJ has always been very much influenced by Steve Earle, and one of our all-time favorite albums, of course, is Car Wheels on a Gravel Road by Lucinda Williams.
Yeah.
Bonnie Raitt would be a huge inspiration for me, and people like that. So we always listened to it. But we have a different relationship with country in Ireland. So it was always a kind of a confusing genre for me. It's in the UK, it's very different, the perception of country music to what it is here. Because we have a genre called country and Irish music, which is a very different style of music. So I was never, I kind of had mixed feelings about it because of that, truthfully.
Oh, really? Okay. So is that why you've put yourself under the Americana brand? Is that so you don't confuse the Irish fans as well?
But also that's what it is. It would be very much more Americana country as opposed to, it's certainly not country and Irish. That would be a different thing. It's just a different style of music.
Okay, perfect. So did you start by touring around local venues, or what? Where did you realise that you've got something that you want to pursue on a bigger scale?
Well, we've always been gigging since, pretty much the weeks that we met. We were just singing together straight away. We were gigging from the word go. When we were a blues band, we did the blues circuit here in Ireland and played festivals we played the Blues Tour Festival in Paris. So we'd always been gigging locally and a little bit internationally in Germany and France. Never really we hadn't really done a lot of gigs in the UK, so that was something that we wanted to change. And also just because there is that understanding, there's such a great understanding of the Americana genre with the Americana UK festival and all of that side of things as well. We just started to kind of open up and find this tribe of people that had very similar tastes to what we do. So that was lovely.
Perfect. So let's talk about your new album, which came out at the end of March. It's called True Hands, True Heart. I really like it. I was listening to it this morning, actually. It's beautiful. So you recorded it in Nashville, and it's produced by a chap called Ray Kennedy. Now, he's got some crazy credentials, hasn't he? He's worked previously with Willie Nelson and Emmylou Harris. So how did that come about? And talk to me about recording that album.
Yeah, Ray is pretty amazing and a good pal. He worked on our last album, Lovers, Legends and Lost Causes. He mixed one of the tracks on that and he mastered that album.
Yeah.
And actually I'd contacted him because I'd mentioned Car Wheels on a Gravel Road, one of our all-time favourite albums. And Ray had mixed that with Steve Earle. And it had won Grammys and had done really well for them, and we knew of Ray just because of through his work. Really, we were a big fan of a lot of his work, and contacted him, and he liked what we were doing, and he worked on the last album a little bit, and had suggested then at that time that he would love to produce the next album if we could get it happening at all. So we were really fortunate then to raise funds through funded.ie here in Ireland. It's called funded.ie, but we had people supporting us from all over the world with that. And we were able to get to Nashville to room and board studios and record the album in just over a week, which was pretty intense.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it was intense, but incredible. Just immediately we had a connection with Ray. Even before that, prior to this album, we just hit it off with him. We get on really well. And he just has such a great understanding of this genre of music, I guess, and also just sound and recording in general. He's fantastic. He really is a fantastic producer.
You got together a brilliant set of musicians to play alongside as well, didn't you? Did he aid with that, or?
Absolutely, and that was a lovely part of having him on board, because in previous albums, obviously we had to do all of that side of things, but it was so lovely to have somebody in charge of that and really sourcing the right people, the right fit for these songs. And the guys were just amazing. I mean, Lex Price played bass, Lynn Williams, who's played with the Wallflowers, and Lex has done a lot of gigs with Nico Case and Katie Lang. And then we had a phenomenal musician called Rory Hoffman play keyboards and B3 organ and harmonica. And he would be Rodney Crowell's go-to musician. He's just outstanding. I actually don't think I've ever met anybody like him. He's blind, and he plays every single instrument under the sun to such a high quality. He's an incredible person.
Inspirational.
Completely inspirational, yeah. So it was just a phenomenal week. The band, everybody they were just fantastic. We had an Irish player, which is funny actually, because we had a guy, a fantastic pedal steel player called David Murphy, based in Cork here in Ireland, and he had played on our last album, and we wanted him on this album because he's a lovely guy and a talented musician, and we just kind of thought that, we would love to have him on it, but which is ironic, obviously, going to Nashville and you could throw a stone out and there's like a million different pedal steel players, but that's just kind of the way it worked out. And yeah, lovely guys all around. There was just an immediate click, and everything it was just a really smooth, positive process really that week of recording.
How did recording in Nashville differ from recording in Ireland? Was it different in any way?
I mean, not that different. It was a different process because we recorded this album, as I mentioned, just over a week, literally a week. And previously we would have done a bit here and there, particularly in our last album, because we have a little girl and she was just born at that time. So we were trying to just get a couple of hours wherever we could, because obviously things were really busy.
Yeah.
So I much prefer that way of recording, just, as that live sound as much as possible and doing it all within a short space of time, because, in previous times you forget really have we done bass on that? What you kind of get a bit confused. So it was I'm kind of more in favor of that intense style of recording and that live sound.
I suppose you can fall into a habit of maybe tweaking it too much or overthinking the recording, rather than you should just focus and get your head down and just stick to your guns. Definitely.
And Ray is just so good at what he does, and he's so anal about everything and just such a perfectionist, and I love that, I have to say. I mean, but really easy to work with at the same time, but I really, really appreciate that. And there wasn't much time for eating or socializing or anything like that. We were literally in there from morning to night, late night every single day, and he worked so hard on this album, and we were just happy to be working with him on it. We didn't really care too much that we hadn't eaten dinner. We were just completely buzzing from the week.
So in terms of the songwriting, talk to me about that process. Do you both write, or is it just one of you?
Yeah, that changes. It just really depends on the song. And, songwriting is still quite the mystery to me, because some songs they do just kind of come from nowhere. And I'm not sure I still really know where that place is, because some of them kind of write themselves and you're not sure where the hell the idea came from. It's kind of I guess it's a magical thing when that happens, but it is mystifying, isn't it? We just don't. Sometimes you feel like, am I plagiarizing? Who did that? There's that feeling.
That couldn't possibly be me.
Yeah, it couldn't be. Exactly. We've got that Irish thing going on. Going, what? That insecure Irish thing going on, maybe. But yeah, and sometimes a melody will come and it will be attached to certain lyrics and a certain feel, a certain. You'll know what the song is about immediately. And then others are like a puzzle, really, where you're trying to figure out where the song is going, and it takes a bit more time and a bit more. I don't like the word effort, because I kind of everybody's so different, but for me, I kind of feel most inspired when the space around us that we can be creative, and when it comes quite naturally, it's a much better experience, rather than I'm not somebody who sits from 9 to 5 and goes, okay, now I'm going to write a song.
Yeah.
Certainly, I'm not afraid of hard work and of working away at something once the idea is initially there. But it's usually some